Listen up, because the landscape in Seattle is shifting beneath our feet. We are witnessing a high-stakes chess match that will define the trajectory of our team for years to come. From monumental contracts to heartbreaking departures, the front office is not sitting idle. This is the definition of a pivotal moment in the Pacific Northwest. Before we break down the specific maneuvers that have left the league reeling, I need every member of this community to help us hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. If you love this team, subscribe now.
Stop everything you are doing right now, because the Seattle Seahawks have made a move that is sending shockwaves throughout the entire National Football League. On Wednesday, the organization officially confirmed that they have locked down the electric wide receiver and premier return specialist Rashid Shaheed to a massive 3-year contract extension. The price tag for this deal sits at $51 million, and let me be crystal clear, this is worth every single penny. We are talking about a player who has been an absolute nightmare for opposing defensive coordinators. When you look at the landscape of the modern NFL, speed kills, and Rashid Shaheed is a literal blur on that turf. This is not just some mid-level acquisition. This is a foundational piece of the puzzle that helped deliver a Super Bowl championship to our team. I have been covering this league for a long time, and I have seen front offices make catastrophic mistakes by letting game changers walk away in the prime of their careers. The leadership in Seattle clearly understands that you do not let a talent like Rashid Shaheed hit the open market. He has shown an incredible ability to create separation, track the ball in the air, and flip the field position in the blink of an eye. His versatility is his greatest asset, serving as a reliable target in the passing game while acting as a lethal weapon on special teams. This contract signals that the team is doubling down on the explosive offensive identity that made them champions. It is a bold, aggressive, and necessary statement of intent. The front office is telling the rest of the NFC West that they are not interested in a rebuild, they are interested in sustained dominance. Think about the chemistry he has developed within the system. You cannot put a price on that level of familiarity and trust. He knows the playbook, he knows the rhythm of the offense, and he knows exactly what it takes to perform when the lights are brightest. Some critics might point to the salary cap implications, but I say to those people, look at the results. You pay for production, and that is exactly what you get with Rashid Shaheed. However, as we celebrate this massive commitment, we have to address the harsh reality of the NFL salary cap era. For every major payday awarded to a star, there is often a corresponding sacrifice that leaves the fan base feeling cold and uncertain. While the offensive firepower is secured, the defensive side of the locker room is currently dealing with a seismic shift that might just change the identity of this franchise moving forward. If you think the roster is set, you are absolutely mistaken, because the next development is going to force us to look at the defensive backfield in a completely different light. Are you ready to see who is leaving the Pacific Northwest?
If you want to keep getting exclusive insights and hard-hitting analysis on every move our team makes, subscribe now and hit the notification bell. Do not miss a single update during this chaotic free agency period.
It is an absolute tragedy for the secondary, and I'm going to be blunt about this because the fans deserve the truth. The Seattle Seahawks defense is bleeding talent. We just witnessed another Super Bowl champion walk out the door as Riq Woolen has officially signed with the Philadelphia Eagles during this wild free agency period. Let that sink in for a moment. You take a guy like Riq Woolen, a player with prototypical size, speed, and ball skills, and you let him walk to a direct conference competitor? This is not just a roster change. This is a tactical blunder that leaves a massive hole in the defensive scheme. I have been pounding the table for weeks about the importance of retaining defensive identity, and seeing Riq Woolen pack his bags for Philadelphia is a gut punch to the culture of this team. You cannot simply replace a physical corner who understands the defensive assignment, communicates at a high level, and brings that championship swagger to the secondary. The Eagles are getting a steal, and our team is getting significantly thinner in the back end. Look at the numbers, look at the film, and look at the impact he had on every single snap. He was the anchor of that secondary. Now the coaching staff is going to be scrambling to fill the void, and you have to wonder if they have a plan or if they are just throwing darts at the wall. This is a business, yes, but when you let a champion walk, you are actively weakening your championship window. The defensive scheme is going to have to evolve, and if they cannot find a replacement with his specific skill set, the entire structure of the defensive coverage will be compromised. I am looking at the depth chart, and I am not seeing a name that inspires the same level of confidence that Riq Woolen brought to the table every single Sunday. It is a massive loss, a flat-out mistake, and the front office needs to be held accountable for how this negotiation went sideways. You don't just lose a player of that caliber and expect to maintain the same level of defensive intensity. It is impossible. You are asking for a drop-off in production, and in this league, a drop-off in the secondary leads to losses. But even with this massive departure, we have to analyze the broader scope of the last 24 hours. We have seen a high-profile extension and a high-profile departure, but what does the overall scorecard look like after the first full day of free agency? Are the moves trending toward a positive future, or are we watching the team slowly unravel? The next breakdown will reveal the winners and losers of this chaotic period, and trust me, some of the names on this list might surprise you. Is the overall front office strategy actually working?
We are now 24 hours into the madness of free agency, and it is time for a cold, hard, analytical assessment of where our team stands. We are looking at a landscape that has been completely transformed by the decisions made by the front office. When you stack up the wins and the losses, one thing is abundantly clear. This is a team in a state of drastic transition. Rashid Shaheed emerges as the clear winner of this entire cycle. By securing that massive contract, he has cemented his status as the cornerstone of the offense. He is the man the team is building around, and he deserves every bit of the recognition he is getting. But we have to look at the other side of the coin. If you want to know who the losers are, look no further than the defensive unit that just lost Rick Woolen. The loss of such a vital contributor casts a long shadow over the front office's strategy. You cannot win in the modern NFL if your defense is leaking talent while you pour all your resources into one side of the ball. It is a dangerous gamble, and the coaching staff is now under an immense amount of pressure to prove that their scheme can mask the lack of veteran presence in the secondary. Is the team better off today than they were yesterday? That is the question that keeps me up at night. On one hand, you have the explosive potential of an offense led by a star receiver. On the other hand, you have a defense that is losing its identity and its championship pedigree. The domino effect of these moves is undeniable. When you pay a premium for offense, you are forced to look for bargains on defense, and that is exactly how you end up losing players like Rick Woolen. It is a classic case of resource allocation, but the execution leaves a lot to be desired. I look at the rest of the roster and I see a front office that is trying to balance the scales, but the math just does not seem to be adding up in their favor. The fans are rightfully frustrated, and they are rightfully asking why the team is letting key pieces of a championship core slip away. This is not the way you sustain success. This is a reactionary move, not a proactive one. We are seeing a team that is trying to hold on to the past while desperately trying to pay for the future. The next few days are going to be critical. If they don't make a splash to bolster the defensive depth, the optimism from the Rashid Shaheed deal is going to evaporate faster than you can blink. We are at a crossroads, and the decisions made in the next 72 hours will determine if we are looking at a playoff run or a long, painful slide into mediocrity. The intensity in the front office must be at an all-time high right now. This is a pivotal time for our team. We have seen the highs of securing a star like Rashid Shaheed and the lows of losing a defensive pillar. The front office is walking a tightrope, and the margin for error is razor thin. We want to hear from you, the fans who make this team what it is. Do you believe the team is making the right call by prioritizing the offense, or are you terrified about what the defense will look like without key veterans? Leave a comment below and let your voice be heard. We are in this together, through the wins, the losses, and the drama of the offseason. Stay locked in, stay passionate, and keep supporting your team. We will be here to break down every single move.